What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got Dustin back on the show. What's up, Dustin?
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to have you back on. This is the 2020 Week 4 Colts at Bears episode. Your Colts at my Bears. Um, Big game between these two teams. What was your expectations going into this one?
Oh, I kind of expected the Bears to play a lot better, and it'd be more of a closer game. Because the Bears scored that last touchdown with a few minutes left to go to make it a little bit closer. But
Yeah,
I feel like the Bears would have pulled away in the fourth quarter, but I
we
guess
couldn't get our offense to go. I don't really know what the issue is with that, but we'll talk about it. So the 2-1 Colts at the 3-0 Bears. Bears trying to get to 4-0 for the first time since 2006. They start out and not much going on offensively to start the game, and then the Colts force the Bears to punt on their first possession. And the Colts block the punt. Rookie linebacker Jordan Glasgow blocks the punt, and the Colts take over at their own 47-yard line. DeAndre Houston Carson misses his block assignment, and Glasgow comes in unblocked for the block punt. Bears special teams used to be a strength of the team back when the Lovie Smith, Dave Tobe era with Devin Hester and those special team guys. But not in this case, not this year. And you got to be pretty happy getting that block punt to start up the game.
Oh, yeah, I think that gave us all the momentum and it's always a game changer, especially when you have a mess up on special teams.
Yeah, and so good field position to start it out. Rivers with a 36-yard pass to Zach Pascal, who beats rookie corner Jalen Johnson on the play. And the Colts finish off the drive with a 13-yard touchdown to tight end Mo Alley-Cox, who you had talked about in the preview. Great job for you guys. For me, I was pissed off. It's like, how many times is our defense going to allow an opening drive touchdown and have us down 7-0 to start the game? Not a great start for the Bears, but a great start for you guys.
Yeah, it was great, man. I wasn't surprised because usually we always start strong. It's the finish that Indianapolis always struggles with. So
Yeah.
It wasn't to my surprise that we started strong.
So then, the Bears still, throughout this game, the Bears couldn't get it going offensively. And that was the reason for the switch to go from Foles to Trubisky, was to get more out of the offense. And, a lot of Bears Twitter was like, maybe the issues on offense don't stem from the quarterback. Maybe it's, the offensive line, the receiving core, the lack of run game, the situational play calling from Matt Nagy. I think this game really opened up a lot of Bears fans' eyes as to some shit I've been saying since the beginning of 2019, or mid-season at least. What did you think watching the Bears offense? They couldn't get anything going against a pretty good Colts defense, though.
Yeah, I remember in our preview before the game started that I said Nick Foles would open up the offense more. Actually, after watching, I think Trubisky is the better option now because Foles just looked like he didn't know what he was doing back there.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give him the second option of being able to run the football and get out of trouble.
Exactly. To me, it's a pretty no-brainer. Like, I understand Nagy wants Foles, right? He's his guy. He's used to the system. He has more comfortability there. But when I look at it like this, you've got a bad offensive line. What quarterback do you want? Do you want the statue quarterback who can't escape the pocket? Or do you want a quarterback that's underrated at scrambling and buying time and getting yards downfield with his legs? That's the quarterback I want. And based on week 4, I don't see a big difference in their performance, in their play. You can look at Foles and that 3-touchdown big-time comeback against the Falcons, but then you can also say, look what Dak Prescott did to the Falcons. Look what Aaron Rodgers did to that Falcons secondary. That Falcons secondary is very suspect right now.
Yeah, and again, you have to understand, that's where Nick Foles is comfortable at, is coming off the bench and leading comebacks.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem very comfortable as a starter. At least that's what I see.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's like the mentality isn't there to start. He wants to come off the bench. So the Colts did a good job running on the Bears. That was pissing me off. Our run D needs to get better. And then our run blocking was atrocious in this game. The Bears do get on the board with a Cairo Santos field goal, making it 7-3. But even in the red zone, everyone talks about Mitch Trubisky with accuracy issues. I saw the exact same issues with Foles. At times against Atlanta and in this game, inconsistency with passing accuracy. Did you see that out of Foles in this game?
Yeah, I remember seeing a couple plays where he overthrew guys who could have made big plays.
Yeah.
And I mean, Foles, again, he just underthrows and overthrows, and again, doesn't make good decisions a lot of times.
Yeah, and that's the exact reason that Mitch was benched, was because he missed an overthrow to Anthony Miller right before halftime, and everyone was like, you have to make that throw. If you can't make that throw in the NFL, you got to go to the bench. Well, then the bench guy comes out and does the exact same thing, so I don't know what to think of that. A big sack by Brent Urban forces a field goal attempt, so the Colts take a 13-3 lead into halftime. How did you feel about at halftime being up 13-3? Were you confident or waiting for the second half, not knowing?
I was pretty confident, especially, it goes back to Nick Foles being the starter. I would have been more scared if it was Trubisky, just because
of big play potential and stuff.
Usually Trubisky is a better second half quarterback than he is a first half quarterback. So
yeah,
I was more confident with Foles because I knew that, Trubisky gives the opportunity to read a broken down coverage on defense and do a big play somewhere downfield.
Yeah, and a lot of talk about, before the benching was third down struggles and, and lack of, accuracy and putting up points. And the Bears, in the first half, the Bears go 1 for 6 on third down. People told me all the third down struggles were due to Mitch, not Nagy, but that's the thing about Nagy. When you make that switch for a different quarterback, now all the blame is going to go to you because you don't have that fall guy anymore. And 3 points at halftime against a damn good Colts defense, but still not acceptable. What do you think? I saw Darius Leonard not playing in the second half on the sideline. Have you heard on Darius Leonard if he's going to be all right?
I have not heard about Darius Leonard yet, but I'm hoping he's going to be all right, man. He's a big key to our defense.
Yeah, he is. He's your best linebacker, in my opinion, and that's a huge difference without him. He didn't practice today, so he might miss another week, but he's not ruled out. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. Let's look here. So, and then all right. So after our first half, where you only put up 3 points, I want to see halftime adjustments and come out and be more aggressive and pissed off and be ready to go. And the first play of the second half for the Bears, starting left tackle Charles Leno just escorts Justin Houston straight to the quarterback for a loss of 8 yards on the sack. Some of the worst blocking I've ever seen to start the second half, and that's not how you want to come out of halftime. So Not great. Did you see that play? Charles Leno just pretty much walked Justin Houston to the quarterback.
Yeah, it was a great play. You know, Justin Houston though, man, he's not a scrub. He's a big time player.
He's older now, but I've always liked Justin Houston.
And I just wanted to say, you know, the not being prepared after half is all on the coaching staff.
Absolutely, 100%. That's a good point by you. If you can't, it's up to the head coach to make those halftime adjustments and to have his team ready to go, whether that's at halftime or to start a game. And if the head coach can't get his team fired up and ready to make adjustments and come out of the half swinging and throwing the punch instead of getting hit, that's 100% on coaching. I agree. Foles takes a deep shot to rookie wide receiver Darnell Mooney on 3rd and 18, but overshoots the receiver by 5 yards. Not very accurate on that one.
Jeez, 5 yards.
Yeah. And talking about Bears special teams play, throughout the game, there were penalties on special teams. First, it was they allow a block punt. Then it was a holding and all this other stuff. I think there was 3 or 4 penalties on special teams throughout the game. An atrocious game from the special teams. You have to be really happy with safety Julian Blackmon, rookie safety Julian Blackmon, on his play so far this year.
Yeah, and I'm excited about the future about that because usually Indianapolis struggles in the past game.
Yeah, and they looked pretty good. And Julian Blackmon, along with Jalen Johnson, the Bears rookie corner, both rookies out of Utah. So whatever Utah is doing, the Utes, their secondary is nasty. I like both of these rookies, and I think they both have a bright future in the league. I want both those guys on my team.
Yeah, it's
yeah, go ahead.
Darius. I'm just reading. Darius Leonard did not practice, so he might be out for the Browns game.
Yeah, and that would be a big loss. And that's another thing that pisses me off about this game is you see Leonard on the sideline to start the second half, and we're still just as ineffective on offense. You would think you could take advantage of having such a good player on the sideline. Then Rivers throws it up to on 3rd down to wide receiver Marcus Johnson, who beats Buster Screen on the play. Did you see a couple times it was like Phillip Rivers was getting pressure in his face and kind of threw the ball up for grabs, and multiple times it's like the Colts receiver just beat the Bears defender despite good coverage and came down with the ball. That was very frustrating for me as well.
Yeah, and I mean that actually shows that Phillip Rivers has trust in his receivers.
Yeah, and it feels like the receivers wanted it more, you know? And as a fan, nothing's going to piss me off more than seeing the other team want the ball more than your team.
Yeah, that's true, man. But Phillip Rivers scares me, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was plays to be made on a couple of Phillip Rivers passes. They just weren't made. Jalen Johnson playing pretty well, though. Kyle Fuller and Jalen Johnson, 2 of the top-rated corners in the league so far, 2 and 3 overall. But end of the 3rd quarter, you were talking a little bit about kicker Rodrigo Blankenship, not trusting him. He had a hell of a game. I believe he was 4 for 4 on field goals. Maybe you guys do have a kicker after all.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely bounced back and had a big game, but one game doesn't make up for the 3 bad games he's had. So
yeah, that's why it's got to happen against us, though. You could have told him take the day off, Blankenship. There was a couple kicks that you're like you could see was a little wobbly and it could break in either direction and miss. But even like the 40-something yarder he got to go through, 44-yarder or so. 16-3 Colts going into the 4th quarter. On 3rd and 1, the Bears hand off to Cordell Patterson, who loses a yard on the play. You know, this is what I'm talking about, Matt Nagy. Bad situational play calling. Why not give the ball to David Montgomery here, who's a lot better at 3rd and short, instead of a guy who's a wide receiver? You know, I hate the wide receiver dive on 3rd and 1. And that's something that happened last year that I was pissed off about, and no adjustments. Nagy's still doing it this year. What do you think on that? When you see the Bears hand off to Cordell Patterson on 3rd and short, that's not something that scares you.
Yeah, again, I agree with you. You know, you have to give it to somebody who is a actual running back and
Yes.
David Montgomery. But this is where Tariq Cohen being out really hurt Chicago.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's not exactly our 3rd and short, running back, but he's a big loss because of his versatility and his pass catching and his spreading the field out and making the Colts defend every blade of grass. Montgomery is our 3rd and short guy, our tackle breaker, our put his head down and scrape out a yard or two. And I hate that we didn't give the ball to him here.
And I think that was predictable.
Yeah.
And that's why the Colts have stopped it.
Yep. And when you got Danico Autry and DeForest Buckner on that line, you need a big guy. You can't just be running your receiver up in there.
Yeah.
Justin Houston again beats Leno, forcing an incompletion. 3rd down pass from Foles to Anthony Miller is broken up by rookie safety Julian Blackmon, who's having a great day. Nagy elects to go for it on 4th and 2 from the Bears' 28-yard line with 12:30 left in the 4th quarter, down 13 points. I would have punted it here because if you don't get it, then you're screwed for the rest of the game. Nagy, Foles throws it deep, and Nagy lucky to get bailed out with a pass interference call on safety Kari Willis for the Colts. Pretty much would have ended the game right there if it was a turnover on downs. This had to piss you off a little bit. 4th and 2, deep ball, and Kari Willis gets flagged for pass interference.
Yeah, it's that stupid plays, man.
Yeah.
And it's not being mentally ready and killers, man. Killers.
Yeah. You never want to bail out the opposing offense, and that's pretty much what happened there.
And we do that all the time. You talk about things that make you upset.
Yeah.
I have seen it all this season where it's a 3rd and 15 and we go and do a dumb play like a hand to the face or a face mask or a pass interference.
He had a few of those against the Jaguars in that loss.
Yep. And
so we pick up the 4th down, right? Drive extended. It's the 4th quarter. It's money time. It's time to go get points. You're down 13, down 2 touchdowns, but the game is still within grasp. You go get a touchdown here, and you got time to go get another one. This is the drive that was really killer, as Nick Foles goes 1 for 7. On 1st and 10, a screen pass to David Montgomery hits DeForest Buckner in the hands. Easily could have been intercepted. On 3rd and 2, Montgomery able to get the 1st down, so he bails him out. Then Foles with a deep ball to Allen Robinson, and A-Rob has to do his best defensive back impression on a full shot to the end zone, has to break up a possible interception by Xavier Rhodes. Where's the veteran decision-making that we were promised? You go from Mitch to Foles, and everyone says he's that much better of a decision-maker. You're not going to have to worry about ball placement and accuracy with this guy. He's always going to make the smart decision. Well, back-to-back could have been intercepted. Allen Robinson does his best. Did you see that play where Xavier Rhodes could have had a pick, but Allen Robinson breaks it up in the end zone?
Yeah, I did. And, again, I was the one who was high on Foles, but in that situation, I still think Trubisky's issue is not decision-making, it's accuracy.
Especially deep ball accuracy. I agree with you. Mitch is never going to be Aaron Rodgers with the deep ball accuracy. He's never going to be that. That's not who he is. But he can work the short to middle game all day and use his legs on top of that, which makes him serviceable, in my opinion. Better than what Foles showed in this game. That's all I got to say. On 3rd and 10, so after nearly 2 interceptions, sitting at 1 for 6 on the drive, Foles' pass to Anthony Miller goes off his hands and is intercepted by rookie safety Julian Blackmon. Game-killing turnover. Once Blackmon picked that off, it was game time. And you could say Anthony Miller should have caught it, but I think Foles could have been a little bit more accurate with that ball. And, that so many missed opportunities, and now, we're pretty much screwed at this point in the game. Big pick by Julian Blackmon, though.
Yeah, Blackmon had a hell of a game.
Yeah. Future star, I think.
I hope, because we haven't had one of those in a long time.
Isn't Malik Hooker a safety as well?
Yes, he is.
So that's a good combination if you got Blackmon and Hooker back there.
Rock Yassin.
Yep. Get another up-and-coming corner, because Xavier Rhodes is a veteran. He's not going to do it that long, but get another, high draft pick corner, and you guys will be set in the secondary.
Yep, and we just got to keep bringing pressure on the quarterback on the offensive line. Defensive line, my bad, sorry.
It's all good. Bears desperately needing a stop on defense at this point. Naheem Hines goes for 12 yards on 3rd and 13, setting up 4th and 1. Instead of trying for a long field goal or punting, the Colts decide to go for it, and a tired Bears defense cannot make a stop as rookie running back Jonathan Taylor goes for 2 yards. Another killer conversion. This is where I was just getting pissed off, because it was like the identity of our team is on defense. And when you can't make that play in the clutch, that's a backbreaker. But I don't really blame them when the offense puts up 3 points to that point. It doesn't instill confidence. You've seen it all around the league. It's like when a dominant defense has a quarterback they believe in, they play a lot better. And it helps, even if they believe in the quarterback or not, if the offense can put up points. And the Bears have not been able to do that. Too many games of starting out incredibly slow on offense and taking forever to get any amount of points on the board. Even in the wins against the Lions and Falcons, the Bears weren't really scoring points until the 4th quarter. That's got to change. These slow starts are killing Chicago. And nice run by Jonathan Taylor here, 4th and short, getting the first down.
Yeah, Taylor's definitely going to be a big star, man, and I can't wait to see his future.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying is, what do you expect when the Bears defense is on the field so much because their offense can't move the football?
Yeah, absolutely. I look at the Colts. This is tough because I look at the Colts. They got no Paris Campbell injured, no Michael Pittman injured. The only guy I'm really worried about is T.Y. Hilton. I know Trey Burton's back. I know Zach Pascal is decent. But come on now, our defense should be able to slow that down. But you make a good point. You leave any defense out there for that long, and they're going to get beat and get tired. Another, the backbreaker right here was a 30-yard kick by Blankenship, and the Colts go up 19-3. And I can't tell you how much it pissed me off seeing Phillip Rivers on the sideline barking over at our sideline across the field, going up 19-3.
Classic Phillip.
It is classic Phillip, and for a defense that's supposed to be dominant, I hated to see that, but it was a total team effort. Another special teams penalty on the Bears. Foles drives down the field in garbage time, down 18. The Colts playing pretty bad defense. Foles throws a 16-yard back shoulder touchdown pass to Allen Robinson. 2-point conversion attempt is good, and now it's 19-11 with 1:30 left in the game. But too little, too late. My question is, Foles, why couldn't you have done this in the first quarter or the second quarter or the third? But instead he waits until too late. Only 1:30 left on the clock, down 8, and you got to kick an onside kick. The Colts recover it, run out the clock, and the Colts beat the Bears 19-11 in Soldier Field. Bears Twitter was fired up, needless to say. Not a lot of good things to say about the offensive performance, but a big win for the Colts as they get to 3-1. Big road win against an undefeated at the time Bears team.
Yeah, it's great, and I can't wait. Hopefully, we can go 4-1 against the Cleveland Browns.
His defense is nasty, holding the Bears to just 11, and a lot of people were high on Foles, but the Colts shut him down as well as the Bears' run game. How good do you think this? Do you think this Colts defense can be like best defense in the league?
I don't know about best defense in the league because there are some pretty damn good defenses out there, but
Yeah,
I'd say top 5 maybe.
yeah, in top 5 with Phillip Rivers and Jonathan Taylor. You never know. You get Campbell and Pittman back healthy. You never know.
Yeah, and you have to think about the big plays too from Naheem Hines, man, with them dink and dunks. He's a fast little thing.
Yeah, and that's something that's pissed me off too. Is that in draws and screens and stuff like that, the Bears defense has been a tad slow at times, not being able to get off their block and make a play. We saw a couple times it was like 3rd and 13, and we give up 12 yards. A missed tackle here, and I'm not used to seeing our defense give up plays like that. But you're right; it goes squarely back to the offense, and that in turn goes squarely on the offensive play caller and head coach Matt Nagy. What I've seen out of Nagy is not only not having his team fired up and ready to go, but not being a very good play caller as well. So I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to question what's Matt Nagy's strength? What's Nagy good at? And I know he won Coach of the Year in 2018, but I think you can make a pretty strong argument that should have been defensive coordinator Vic Fangio's award for how good our defense was that year. So a lot of questions in Chicago about the coaching.
Is there a reason why he won't let Bill Lazor call the plays?
Pride, ego. Matt Nagy wants to be the play caller. We've been asking him to give up play calling since the middle of last year, and he won't do it. I would much prefer. I think it's too much on a head coach's shoulder to be a play caller and manage the game. I'd much rather have Bill Lazor call the plays and Nagy be like the head coach that oversees the game and make sure to get the situational play calls right. But from what I've seen on a Nagy to this point, he's not going to get the situational play calls right regardless. So I'm not happy about the coaching situation in Chicago right now. I'm sure you can tell.
I don't agree with head coaches calling plays. That's what you have coordinators for.
Yeah.
The coordinators are supposed to call the plays and get the team better on both sides of the ball, and the coach is just supposed to sit there and observe and coach up players if he has to.
Yeah, and I mean everything goes to the head coach anyways. So why can't he delegate someone to call the plays that he wants to have called? It's the same system, it's the same plays. It's just that he's not calling them, and he can focus on other stuff. And he's obviously not doing that good of a job so far. So I think the Heat's going to continue to get on Nagy, especially if we fall to 3-2 and find ourselves on a losing streak. All I gotta say is our offense better look a lot better on Thursday night. But back to back, we're going up against good defenses. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say after this game whether the Bears' offense is that bad or the Colts have a really damn good defense. So we'll see. But I tend to think it's more Nagy.
Are they planning on starting Foles again?
Yes, they are. And I think it's going to take a little bit because Nagy likes Foles more. Nagy has been pissed off at Trubisky. He's felt like Trubisky was holding his offense back for a few years now. And he couldn't wait, as you could tell. If you make a switch week 3, he couldn't wait to get Mitch off the field. And to do that, it's going to take a lot of heat for Nagy to go back on that decision. But I think it will. I think give it some time. It might take until week 10 to happen, but I do think we'll see Mitch Trubisky back on the field.
So I have just one question for you.
Yeah.
So do you have any faith and belief that Nagy can take the Bears to the promised land?
I mean, not really. No. I think he's got his issues. The only way we're going to go far, not with Foles, not with this offense. Our defense, if our defense is the best in the NFL, which its potential it could be, then sure, anything's possible when you have the best defense in football and they're taking the ball away and giving pick sixes and scoring, you know. But do I have faith that Nagy is a playoff winning head coach and play caller? Hell no, I do not. It goes back to Chiefs Titans in 2017 when he refused to run the ball and blew a big lead in that game with Alex Smith and Kareem Hunt and those Chiefs. And then against the Eagles, he refused to run the ball. Bears Eagles, he refused to run the ball enough in that game and cost the team, didn't put enough points on the board in that game. So no, I do not trust Matt Nagy. And in my opinion, he would definitely be on the hot seat. And I'll tell you this, if the Bears do struggle this year and miss the playoffs and don't live up to expectations, not only is Matt Nagy gone after this year, but GM Ryan Pace is gone as well. So there could be some big changes coming to Chicago at the end of 2020.
Ooh, that's another bold prediction. You're killing it this year.
Well, I wasn't right on the Patricia one, so maybe, and I don't want to be right on this one either. We'll see.
I mean, still, I think Detroit's 1-3, so Patricia could be gone soon.
Oh, yeah. That loss to the Saints was a big loss for him.
Lions fans want him out.
Yeah, they definitely do. And defensively, they gave up 35 straight points, and Patricia's the defensive play caller, so.
Jeez, man.
What's your thoughts on Frank Reich? Are you pretty happy with him right now?
I am pretty happy with Frank Reich. I love aggressive football coaches, and he is definitely an aggressive football coach.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he'll keep us with a chance to keep winning the AFC South. I don't think unless, by some miracle we get a franchise quarterback, I don't see us winning the Super Bowl anytime soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thanks a lot, Andrew Luck.
Well, who knows? We'll see if Luck ever wants to come back at any point. Or, if you guys draft someone in the future. But you got a good 1-2 combo right now. You got a veteran leader in Philip Rivers, who is basically a coach on the field and can read defenses, knows defenses, feels comfortable changing plays and stuff like that. A pretty damn good defense. And then even if Rivers starts struggling, you got a good backup in Jacoby Brissett back there. So, you got to be feeling optimistic, I think, as a Colts fan right now.
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm saying you gotta be feeling pretty optimistic as a Colts fan right now, with everything going on and a 3-1 start. Hold on, let's check something here.
Yeah, I'm excited for the rest of the season. With Philip Rivers and our defense. Our defense is looking better. We haven't had a defense look that good since probably 2012, 2013.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to, your young guys are coming through, Blackman and all the, your young defenders. So Rock Yassin, guys like that. So it's got to be, you got to be feeling pretty confident. It helps having the Texans 0-4 in that division. You guys are pretty much set up for at least, contending, if not getting a wild card.
Yeah, the Titans can never get a game in. Man, that's sad. They keep having breakouts.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they play this weekend, but they might have to take 2 weeks off. And who knows? They're talking about, because it looks like they broke protocol, they could have to forfeit a game or two. So that could be an automatic loss right there and put you guys in first place.
Yeah. So what do you think the future is in the NFL with all these outbreaks? Do you see it becoming to where they start they shorten the season, or they just start canceling games, or what?
Well, I think, like in the Titans' case, they might have to forfeit a game or two. So we'll see on that. But I think they're gonna try their best to, worst case scenario is not have a full season. They're trying their best to finish out the year, and I don't think we're at the point where we need to start thinking about that. I know the Colts got hit, or not the Colts, the Titans got hit, but I expect them to be back good soon, within a week, or so. And then, I know the Patriots had two now, but the good thing about this is that you can recover and get back to it pretty quickly. In most cases, 1 week. You can quarantine, retest, come up negative, and get back on the field. So I think the NFL is doing a pretty good job of it, and I really do like that they're doing daily testing to stay on top of it and know right away if a positive comes up, get them away from everybody else and quarantine. It was nice to see, even though Cam Newton got hit, the Patriots, did the tracking, took two buses to the game, and everyone tested negative. So there's been some scares, but I think the NFL is handling it pretty well.
Yeah, they have top of the line, doctors and people
Yeah,
who can bring out tests and all that money that they're paying for this. But it's definitely worth it because it's been a great season so far.
it has. It's been a lot of fun. It's been fun, talking about it. And the good news is, it's optimistic to see the baseball in the playoffs right now. Baseball got hit. The Marlins got hit. The Cardinals with COVID, but they overcame it, and they're in the playoffs right now. About to go to in the World Series. So um, the NFL, I think they're hitting some speed bumps right now, but I think they'll be able to power through it, and I still think we'll get a full season.
Did you see Miami just got full clearance to have all 65,000 fans?
Really, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
Florida for you. They're a little more risky with stuff, but I just wish the Bears would allow some fans. Chicago's being pretty tough on it. No fans on Thursday night, so that pisses me off. But we'll see. They're doing their best they can. It's good to see the Dolphins opening it up, and a lot of teams are opening it up to some fans. The Cowboys had quite a few fans, so we'll see. Hopefully, we get the numbers under control a little bit more and get some more fans at the games.
those got to be the most disappointed fans in the world. Sorry, Cowboys.
So for the Colts coming up, they go to Cleveland to take on a 3-1 Browns. No one expected the Browns to be 3-1 at this point, so this could be a tough game. Do you think Indy can go into Cleveland and get their second straight road win and get to 4-1?
My heart says yeah. My mind says no. I mean, I love this team, but again, I have to go with the smart choice because, I mean, Cleveland, man, they had an offensive explosion on Sunday.
Yeah, that was against the Cowboys too. The Falcons had an offensive explosion against those guys too. Um,
Yeah,
I'm not a believer in Cleveland. I think your defense is going to come in there, shut shit down, get a pick or two off of Baker. No Nick Chubb in this game, so they're just going to be Kareem Hunt and who's the other guy? Is it Hilliard? So I think if I'm making a pick, I'm taking the Colts over the Browns. I do not see this Browns team getting the 4-1. I just don't. I think you guys go in there and get the win.
that would be great.
Yeah. And the Bears host the 3-1 Tampa Bay Bucks and Tom Brady on tomorrow night, Thursday night. Big ass game. Bears better look better. Bears have to look better than they looked on Sunday. I think they will. But do they get the win? That I'm not sure of. Defense has got to play a lot better going up against the GOAT, Tom Brady. What do you think going into Thursday night? Are you going to be watching this game? Are you excited for it?
Yeah, this is a huge game. I mean, if Chicago can go 4-1 and not lose two in a row,
Yeah, it's a
or
big opportunity.
this is their way to stop a pretty damn good offense because Brady had an explosion on Sunday.
Yeah.
And but I think the defense will come back and play a better game. And especially knowing, I think they underestimated Indy.
Yeah.
And this game, I don't think they're going to underestimate Tampa Bay because, like I said in the past, anytime you have Tom Brady, there's potential for, your defense could have a very bad game.
Yeah, and you never know with Brady because early in that game he threw a pick six, and he's thrown a couple of those to start the year. But then he got it going in the second half and torched. Who did they play this week? Bucks and
I
Chargers.
believe it was LA.
So if our defense can step up, get to Brady, who's pretty much a statue back there, shut down their run game, then we have a shot. But their defense is pretty good. I think it's top two along with Indy. So the question is, do I trust Foles or not? I keep saying Foles. Do I trust Nagy to have this team ready to go? I can't say that I do. I should. I thought he'd have the team ready to go against a good Colts team, and he didn't. It's going to take a lot more than 3 points to beat the Bucks, and I think we're looking down the hole of a 2-game losing streak, both at home, and that's not good. If we fall to 3-2, 0-2 with Nick Foles as the starter. If you look back at our last 5 starts, Nick Foles in his last 5 starts has a record of 0-5. Mitch Trubisky in his last 5 starts, 4-1. So if Foles falls to 0-6, if the Bears fall to 3-2, man, I'm telling you, it's going to be loud in Chicago, and the Trubisky truthers are going to be talking a lot of shit, trying to get Mitch back starting. I don't care who it is at this point. I was rooting for Foles on Sunday. I just want to win effing football games. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. A tough game against Tampa Bay. I can't pick the Bears right now. I got to go Tampa Bay for this one.
Yeah, I definitely feel you and understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And again, this actually goes to show, the Mitchell Trubisky doubters like myself, who didn't think that he was better for the Bears offense. But at the end of the day, I think you just have to let Trubisky be the man in charge of that offense.
At least for now, and then, see how the season goes. But I agree. It makes sense to you and me, but I don't think Nagy is going to do it. And a lot of things make sense to you and me that Nagy doesn't agree with. So, we're stuck with Matt Nagy. He's our head coach. He's our offensive play caller. And he's got his quarterback he wants there right now. All I got to say is he better bounce back and have a better game on Thursday night on prime time with the national audience watching. If Foles goes out there and Nagy goes out there and has a shit game and we are a laughing stock and fall to 3-2 and get blown out by Tampa Bay, man, it's going to be heated in Chicago. So do I think – a lot of people were saying that Trubisky was so bad that Nagy couldn't do anything with him. Well, if that's the case, then Foles is just as bad because he couldn't do anything with him. So, big prove-it game on Thursday night. I've got the Bucks. I hope the Bears prove me wrong. I've got the Colts. You've got the Browns. So, will be an interesting weekend, a big prove-it week 5 in the NFL for a lot of these teams. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's going to be fun again, man. It's been fun every week, and I'm really enjoying this season.
Yeah, both our teams playing big games. Go ahead.
That's the problem with most head coaches these days in football, man. They never play the better quarterback. They play their guy.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the reason why you don't win championships is because you would rather play your guy instead of the most talented guy.
Well, it's hard work to not play your system and play to the strengths of your roster at times. Like they don't like to adjust. But I keep saying it, the best coaches in football, the ones that last, the ones that, have that resume, are the coaches that adjust to the roster. And that's what the Patriots were saying. Like we adjust to the strengths of the players on our roster. That's not what the Bears have done. Instead of going with Mitch, Nagy would rather have Foles that plays his system, that does what he wants him to do. And you saw us put up a grand total of 11 points, 3 that weren't in garbage time. So it's a big prove-it game for Foles and Nagy, and a lot on the line in Week 5. I can't wait for tomorrow night's game. Go Bears. Thanks for coming on, Dustin. Appreciate it. Good shit as always. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. And we're going to keep these episodes coming out. Stay tuned for next week. We're going to have a special guest on the show to help break down some games with us. So he's been on the show once before. He's a former NFL head coach 2 times. So a big guest coming up next week. I'm sure you're excited for that one, Dustin.
Oh, yeah, man. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. My very first time talking with the NFL head coach.
Hell yeah. So appreciate it. Good shit, Dustin. And we'll see you. We'll have you on next week.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Peace out, guys.